Hey there, Sinead Dunn here from the Extraordinary Mompreneur Community, and welcome to the Mompreneur Show, your weekly fill for tips, tricks and inspirations to help you build a successful life and business. And this week on the show we get chatty with Dina, who's a publicity coach, and she shares some of her top tips with us about us finding some publicity in our business. So let's get chatty. So Dina, hi, and welcome to the Mompreneur Show. I'm so happy to have you here. I would just like if you would share just a little bit about yourself and your business.
Hi, well, thank you for having me. So I am a publicity coach. I used to work as a journalist, and now I work with female entrepreneurs to help them get their business featured in the media.
Yeah, and you have a family?
Yes, I've got a little girl who is 2.5.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So Dina, how do you balance your work-life balance?
I think I'm really lucky that I've got good childcare in place, and I think that that really helps. So I've got family who help out, and I've got my little girl goes to nursery a couple of days a week. So I know that I've got like 4 full days where I can work on my business. And then I have my Friday when I'm with my little girl, and I try as much as possible, if I have to do little bits and pieces of work, but I try and, be present with her so that that's kind of our time. And so I think it's just, I guess, having those boundaries so that when you're working, and when it's family time, it's family time.
Yeah, true. And do you have set routines?
I kind of have time in the morning where I know that I'm going to be getting her ready and taking her to nursery. And so I know that sort of from 9 o'clock, between 9 o'clock and 5 o'clock is kind of my time to work on my business. And then obviously after that, I'm, picking her up and giving her dinner and giving her bath. So I've got kind of my set time when I know I can be doing my work stuff, and then I try as much as I can to not let work eat into my other time.
And do you have any other support network? Do you have cleaners? Do you have VAs? Anything like that? Because this is always a question that mothers always ask. What help do you have?
I do have a cleaner, which for the past sort of year or so I've had a cleaner, and I've never had one before, and I kind of always felt like, it's a bit of a luxury to have. But it was pretty much when I was I'd kind of come back to work after being off on maternity leave and realised that I was at home. The time that I had at home, at first it was quite limited, the time that I had to work, and I was spending that time kind of cleaning the house and doing housework, and it really wasn't productive. And I realised that for the amount of money that I could spend on a cleaner, and someone who can do everything much more efficiently than me anyway, that time I can earn more money working than I would, the time spent cleaning, or however much I'm having to spend on a cleaner. So it worked out kind of, logically it makes more sense to do that. And it is really nice. And I think if you can afford to do it, and even if you start with once a month or once a fortnight, it's such a help. When you're running a business and there's so much to do anyway, I just think to have that kind of taken off my plate, it's been great.
It is. It's a bit of a mindset shift for some women to actually to do it, but it was the best investment that I made. Hands down. Yes, definitely. Is there any other tips that you could share, like how you manage your work-life balance for other mothers that are just starting out, say, in business?
Well, I've only started looking at outsourcing. So I've had a VA who's been doing little bits and pieces of work for me. And I'm actually just about to start working with a VA and start outsourcing a lot more. So I think if you can start off just outsourcing what you can, and I've got an accountant, who does my accounts for me, because it's going to take me such a long time to work through my own tax return. I'm really rubbish with numbers. So, I think I know what my strengths are, so I'm not going to spend time doing the things. There are certain things in my business that I can do that are sort of outside of my skill set slightly, but I know that I can do it, so I can kind of update, my website. But in the past, I'd built my whole website myself, and actually I got to the point where I was like, I'd like to have a really nice professional new website, and so I hired someone to do that for me. And so yes, I can update it myself, but I didn't want to spend hours sort of building the whole thing from scratch. And so I think just knowing who you can outsource to for certain things so that you're making the best use of your time, because we've all been there where, you're trying to tweak something on your website and you spend hours on it, and there's a professional that you could pay who would do it so much quicker, and in the end it saves you money, because that time you're spending doing that, you could be making money in your business. So I'm definitely in the process of outsourcing more, but I've started doing it and it's been really good, and that's been really helpful, so that I know that I'm spending my time on things that are growing my business and money making activities, rather than just all the fiddly little things that sometimes can take ages.
Yeah, true. So Dina, you do PR, so for, say, a mother who is starting out in business, what tips would you give to her around getting some publicity for herself? What would be steps that she could take?
I think just kind of get started with something. A lot of people just put off the idea of PR completely, and they don't even want to touch it because they just think it's so overwhelming and it's going to cost them loads of money and it's going to be really difficult. So I think just get started with whatever you can do, whether it's submitting a guest blog post. So have a look for blogs that accept guest writers and submit a guest blog post, or have a look for someone in your industry area who has a blog, and maybe you could write something for them, and get started just doing, you can start off in a very low-key way, and equally you could start off getting in touch with a local paper rather than going straight for a big national magazine or newspaper. Start off locally and make it easy for yourself and make it less overwhelming. So, send off a press release to a local paper, maybe get in touch with a local radio show, because all these places are very open to hearing from people that have businesses and people that have stories to share. So I think it makes it a lot less of an overwhelming idea if you're starting off small, rather than thinking, I need to get in touch with Oprah or the Sunday Times or whatever. So guest blogging is a really good way to start getting coverage, and some local press can be a lot easier to get, but it can still be really, really powerful. I've had clients that have had really amazing results actually from getting local coverage. Yeah,
that's what I was going to ask you about, because I know sometimes people think that we shouldn't really bother with local, but I think that can give you a little bit more credibility if you start off with getting your local people behind you, and then you can build your credibility up by doing that. So I think that's a great tip.
Yeah, and it gives you a really good experience as well. If you're really new to PR, if you go and do something with your local paper or your local radio, so you have that experience of being interviewed, of maybe having a photo shoot for the first time, then when you do go on to doing some of the more bigger, more well-known publications, you've already got that experience and you know what it's like to be interviewed, and you know kind of what to say to a journalist. And also you've got something on your website where you can say, here's where I've been featured already, and this is the article, you can read it. And like I say, I've got clients. I had one lady who was featured in a local paper. She's an author. She doubled her book sales just on the back of this one article. And I've got another lady featured in, it was a regional paper in her area, and she signed up 10 clients on the back of that one article. So it can still be really, really effective for your business.
Yeah, true. So could you give tips for someone that wants to maybe outreach to their local, like what should they include or not include? Because I know this is something that a lot of people are terrified to do. They don't know actually how to do it. So what would the tips around that be?
So generally you want to think about why you're getting in touch with them. So you need some kind of story for them. So if you've got something that's happening in your business, like if you've got a new launch, if you've got a new book out, something like a new app, anything where there's if there's some kind of event that's happening, whether it's a launch or something new, then I would say write a press release and just outline what the story is, and tell the journalist everything about what it is that you're launching or your new book, or maybe an open day, something like that. So tell them about it in the press release, and just send it in an email. So you're literally copy and pasting whatever you've got in your press release, you're copying that into an email, and send it off to, all the information for journalists. You can easily find it on websites. So you look on their contact page and you find out who's the news editor or the features editor, and send that through to them.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that's the best way to contact, because I've heard some people say, oh, you should maybe interact with them on Twitter and try to get some form of connection with them first before you email. Would you recommend that, or just go in and email?
No, I mean, Twitter's really good, and it's a really great way to connect, and so many journalists are on Twitter now, and it's a way that you can have that direct kind of interaction with them, and you can definitely build relationships that way. So yeah, Twitter's a great place to start, and if you can interact with journalists without pitching to them, that's the thing. You want to just start off by interacting with them, and I guess imagine it as though it was a real life networking event, and you get talking to someone, and you maybe with Twitter it's very good because you can retweet. If they're tweeting a link to an article, you can retweet it, and then you can message them or tweet them and say, I really enjoyed that article, I found it really useful. And so you can start building up that rapport. So I would definitely try and build up some kind of relationship in that way. If you're going to go down the Twitter route, build up the relationship before you pitch to them. But if you've got something that's coming up in your business and you just really want to get a press release out, then you can definitely get in touch directly via email, because the thing is, journalists are always looking for stories. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people forget, and a lot of people get really worried by the idea of having to be a bit of a hassle, or that they're going to be kind of bugging the journalist or annoying them in some way, and that they're sort of saying, that you're asking them to do you a favour almost. But actually, journalists always need stories, and if you've got something that's a good story with a strong angle, they're going to be really, really happy to hear from you, and they're going to be really grateful, because a lot of journalists are looking for stories, they're looking for features, they need stuff to fill their pages. So if you can help them with that, then it's a win-win for both of you, and it is a two-way relationship. You're helping them, they're helping you, and everyone's happy.
Well, that is a great mindset, I suppose, to start off. To think about, that you're collaborating with each other, you're helping them just as much, because you go in all like, oh my god, terrified, but if you have that mindset, I mean, everything is really about twisting how we think and see things, so that's a great tip. Thank you for that one. Yeah, I'm going to bring that on board. So Dina, can you just share with us one top tip for business that you've learned throughout your career that you could share with mothers that are starting out in business?
I think my biggest tip is just to go for it and just do it and stop procrastinating, because so many of us hold back from doing things, and a lot of us, especially I think as women, we can be real perfectionists, and you don't want to, it's that whole like tweaking the website thing, and it's never quite perfect enough, and it's never quite ready, so you don't want to put it out there, or a program that you've got and it's not quite ready, and I always say done is better than perfect. And, you're much better off putting something out there that is, done to the best of your ability. It might not be 100% perfect, but get it out there, and you can tweak as you go. You can make things better. And I've learnt that over the years. The first thing you put out there is not going to be the best thing, but that's fine. You tweak it as you go, and you learn so much. The longer you're in business, working with clients, and just, any kind of programs that you invest in, you're going to be picking up new tips, you're going to be learning new stuff, you're getting more experience, and you probably will have moments, and I've had this, where you go back to things that you've put out previously and think, oh wow, I really want to improve that now, but you do the best that you can do at the time, and you work with what you've got, put out what you can, and definitely just go for it. If anyone's kind of thinking about starting a business, or if they've got a project that they're working on and they've been holding back, I'd say just go for it, just do it, get it out there.
Yeah, thank you so much. And what is the one thing in your life right now that is making you happy or smile every day?
Probably my little girl. She makes me laugh. She's 2.5, so she's at the age where she's really starting to chat a lot, and she's just coming out with all these really funny phrases. So yeah, she definitely makes me laugh.
Yeah, I love that baby stage. It is so much fun. So enjoy it because they grow up so fast. So enjoy it. Dina, where can we find you?
So the website is dinaberman.com, and I've got, free resources and blog posts and things on there, with lots more tips and advice on PR and publicity. And I'm on Twitter at Dina Berman, and on Facebook it's facebook.com/bizfamecoach. And I'm always happy to talk to people about anything to do with PR and publicity and answer questions. So if anyone wants to tweet me or drop me a line, then you're more than welcome.
Well, don't you? Yeah.
Yes. Which I can't remember the URL off the top of my head, but
I'll get the links off you and I'll pop them in. I'm the same. I never remember the name of mine. Dina, thank you so much. These are some great tips, and I can't wait to get this out to the viewers and let them hear and share what you've just taught us. So thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Hey there, and thank you for watching my video, and I'm super excited to bring to you my free video training on how to use a task project management system tool that I use in my life and in my business. We all know the importance of having systems in our life and in our business to make them run smoothly, and this free tool, yes, it is a free tool that you can use to just make yourself more productive and save you more time. If this is something that you want in your life, sign up in the link down below and I will send you your free training. And I look forward to meeting you in the training.